While the world was infuriated over the killing of Cecil the lion, in that same week, 5 endangered elephants at the Tsavo West National Park in Kenya had been hunted and killed. Conservationists say nearly 100 elephants are hunted and poached each and every day in Africa, leaving small orphan elephants for dead, only some of which might find refuge in the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust nursery. This is in Nairobi. I went there myself recently, adopted 2 baby elephants, and I can attest to some of the horrors there myself. And so I'm joined by a man who says he regrets the day he hunted an elephant, writing about this story in his new book, Safari, Memoir of a Worldwide Travel Pioneer. Here with me, Geoffrey Kent, founder of Abercrombie Kent, this phenomenal tour company. And you grew up on a farm in Africa. The stories you could tell, I could sit with you over dinner for forever. But can we just begin first with the story of hunting an elephant?
Well, you know, we grew up in a farm and we grew up hunting. It's what we did. And at the age of about 15, one was big enough to shoot something more than a crocodile. And it was kind of like a rite of passage. And I went off with one of my godfathers called Lynn Temple Borum, who was one of the most famous game wardens in Africa. And we went to the Masai Mara where you went, which was not a park then. It was a hunting area, can you believe?
No.
And that's where I shot two buffalo. And then the big thing was to shoot an elephant. And we waited for the day, and I described it in my book. And when I shot the elephant, it was like horror after I saw this dead elephant. And that's when I wrote down that forever I'd rather shoot with a camera and not with a gun. And that's actually what became the cornerstone of Abercrombie Kent.
It was because of you that I went to the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust and adopted 2 baby orphan elephants, just because of what I learned about that place, and from you and from Kristen Davis, who I know is really involved there as well. You know, you tell all these stories in your book about, real life issues like the terror attack in Mumbai, and you had, groups in Mumbai who you had to get out, and also what happened in South Sudan.
Well, what happened in Mumbai was, of course, we all know what happened with the terrorist attack, but one of my guides called them in their room and said, literally, you come out, you turn left, you walk down 100 yards, you'll see a ladder by the window, come on down, and you'll see me with the Abercrombie Kent yellow sign, right, which you can always recognize. And they did that. There was a guy in his blue suit with a tie on, and it was chaos everywhere. And they came down the ladder and were transported off to the Four Seasons Hotel. But, we always prepare for emergencies. We really want, the key thing with our trips is you have to be safe.
With when you read your book, and just knowing you, with the people you've taken, your friends, Ted Turner, who is near and dear to our hearts here at CNN, your friend Prince Charles, myself, I knew a little bit about A&K and hopped up a mountain a couple of months ago and made a dear friend in Dismas, one of your phenomenal guides. Who is the most interesting people or person that you've taken?
They're all very, very different. Every one of them is very different. I mean, I think that, going back in my book, I go from Richard Burton, a very famous actor, tons of fun, to Ted Turner, one of the most brilliant entrepreneurs of all time. And,
where was his favorite place that you all went?
With Botswana. Botswana is, Kenya in the early days, but today everybody loves Botswana. We've got beautiful camps in the Okavango Chiefs Camp, where you've got to go one day. It's phenomenal.
It's on my list. Before I let you go, I think when I met you before, you had this scratch notepad where you were already dreaming up a trip to the South Pole. Can you tell me about that in 30 seconds?
Yeah. Basically, I've been almost anywhere. So I've now got to get the map, and so we're going to do these Abercrombie Kent Intrepid expeditions, and we're going to go and live with the emperor penguins, which is about this high, and then we're going to go on, take another plane down the South Pole, be at the South Pole, and then we're going to climb a mountain that's never been climbed before.
The world is your neighborhood. When I think of you, you know everywhere to go. Jeff Kent, thank you so much. Again, your book, Safari. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that does it for me here in New York. I'm Brooke Baldwin. Thank you so much for being with me. Make sure you stick around.